This week, I second shoot a wedding with my wife, Lindsay. You're on the new behind the scenes cam. All images are edited with my presets that are available on Patreon. Get ready to watch me creep in on Lindsay's setups.
Taylor Jackson.
Shooting 67 weddings last year.
Taylor Jackson, welcome.
So Taylor, you are well known in this community. You're an amazing photographer.
That intro is so aggressive. I have to make a new one sometime. I am just kind of creeping out to the side here. So everything that I'm doing today is the not reverse angle, I wouldn't say, but a different angle. I want to spend some time just making sure that I'm making different images than what Lindsay is making, because I know that she's a highly skilled photographer and I don't want to be shooting the exact same shot. She is primarily on a Sigma 50mm 1.4. So I thought, why not switch it up and just ride that 7200 all day? And it seems to be working out okay so far. So Lindsay's upstairs with the bride, and I am just kind of lurking around, and I found these guidebooks for their honeymoon, and I figured that that is an important part of their wedding, that they've probably spent a lot of time and effort deciding where they want to go after their wedding. So I also photographed that. And then I was like, what photo does Lindsay need? She needs a photo of the tea kettle. And there's significance because it's the same color as the dresses and whatnot. For the first look with the girls, usually the cliche image is just like the group of everybody, but I find that it's very hard to get everybody all looking good at once. So I spend a little bit of time getting specific candidates of each individual. And then we redid it for her dad as well. And I think that it looks quite good. This is like 45 minutes later over at the groom's house. We went in a car and we drove a little bit, and we got there, and Lindsay again is shooting with her 50 still, and I'm on my 7200 just trying to get slightly different shots, and I really don't know exactly what she's shooting. I know that I have a pretty good idea, but I just want to kind of make sure that I get coverage as well as create some unique and interesting images in this situation. And it's kind of hard, but once we get to the actual wedding venue and we're able to go outside, I feel like things change a little bit. So this is me doing some exteriors, and I know that she can't get that with her 50 because those are super unique and interesting shots. They're not really that unique. It's just I took them, so they're fine, I guess. This is me walking slowly over to photograph some flowers. Boom. Flowers. How do you feel about that? I think another element, a surprise element, is also getting some behind the scenes images of the main photographer that are also valuable to the wedding day. Not to deliver to the couple, but to deliver to the main photographer that will maybe hire you again. I don't know if Lindsay will hire me again. I kind of doubt it, but maybe, I don't know. At the ceremony, this is usually the time that I'm on my 7200, and it is simply because I don't really know what's going to happen. I don't know if like 15 people are going to hold up red iPad cases and I'm going to have to shoot around them. So I do kind of just like hedge a little bit and use the 7200 to just make sure that can't happen. And if it does, I just make sure that I can get around that easily and get the images that I need. I rarely ever park kind of behind the officiant like I am today, but it's working out very well. Lindsay is getting the angle that I'm usually at, and I'm getting the surprise angle that I kind of get blocked every now and then from, but it's I think working out pretty well. The girls are all coming down, and I tried to get just kind of a full-length shot of everyone. I know Lindsay's getting the same from her more prime spot, but I'm also happy with my images. If these were the only images that were delivered, I feel like I'd be relatively happy with them. Also, we're definitely getting the best of all worlds when it comes to ceremony location right now, that it's bright out there, but as soon as they get inside the actual wedding, I don't know what would be considered, but the ceiling is very nice. It's very neutral tones, so it's very easy for us to take images. It's basically like you're taking photos in a softbox, but the only challenging part is that the softbox on the exterior is very, very bright. So if you're taking images with a digital SLR, the 360 cam is actually doing a pretty good job of it, but digital SLR, it's a little more challenging, I guess, to keep all those tones together, and also maybe a little bit more distracting. If I was to try to keep like everything together, it would look very HDR. I'm also doing some things that I typically wouldn't, which includes actually walking kind of behind the ceremony a little bit to get a shot back, which is not a thing that I would ever do as a main shooter. That I'm a lot more, I guess, like calm and silent and collected and just getting the safe shots during the ceremony. But because I'm a second today, I'm going to creep back here a little bit and get this shot. Then some more things happen, and Lindsay has to get up on a ladder to do a few photos of the entire wedding. It's a very challenging shot. I will deliver her 24 to 105 lens at some point. Also, I feel like I'm too close, so I backed off a little bit there. And as I come back down, I'm going to give Lindsay that super wide, and she's going to get up on a ladder and get a wide shot of everybody. It's basically the way that it works is that there is no easy way to get a full group shot of everybody. If you are at this wedding venue in this specific wedding room at this specific time in the year. So you have to kind of make do with what you can. And I feel like that's kind of what happens for all wedding photographers. It's like you kind of walk in, you have a 60% idea of what's actually going to happen on the wedding day, but you really do have to kind of figure out exactly how the logistics of the day are going to work out. And rather than complaining, just make it work, make it happen, do what the couple wants you to do. Because at the end of the day is what the most important thing is, to capture their day the way that they would like to see it. Now I'm inside before all the guests get into cocktail hour, getting a few candids while all the candles are lit. And that's my life. And now I'm on kind of candid duty for a little bit. And it is wouldn't say the most uncomfortable place, but it's up there. The easiest place that I find to get great candidates is that if you go to where the family session is happening, you know everyone that's there is probably an important family member. Up at the regular cocktail hour is also critically important as well. So make sure you get as many photos and candidates as you possibly can, or send your second to do it. Or if they're a little bit introverted, just shoot the glass. Lindsay's doing all the family photos off to my left, and I'm doing a few external family photos. I think it's important as photographers to really just offer up like, hey, if you need photos, you want photos of your family, significant others, whatever, just let the second photographer know. Now we're in a golf cart. Lindsay is super excited. This is actual real speed. The 360 cam makes it look pretty extreme. We're in a forest. Again, I'm trying to do everything that I can to get different images than what Lindsay is getting. So I'm literally in a forest here trying to get images through kind of bushes and trees, and some of it's kind of working out pretty well. Usually I don't love the kind of like the green and yellow acidic tones, but they're kind of working today, and it's definitely different than the shots that she's getting. This one, however, did not work out. Trying to use the golf cart as a frame. Had a few minutes with Christy to just bring her out here to do a few photos. I like the idea of just kind of carrying the dress, and it seemed nice through a forest. It was a little bit different than what Lindsay was doing with them, so figured it was worth the 2-minute investment of time. We then found this very candid bench / swing out in a forest. Wow, what a discovery! Now we knew it was there. Intros are actually really hard. You never really know which way, even if there's a plan, people rarely actually stick to it. So you just kind of have to work with whatever is currently happening. And in this case, things went okay. The entire room is good light, so I like that. And when the couple is being introduced, I use that as an opportunity to get as many candid photos of guests as I possibly can before actually getting shots of the couple as the second photographer. And then because the intros were so late, it's pretty much like straight to sunset photos. So I've kind of found this photo that I really do want to get, and I asked Lindsay politely if we could maybe have it happen. So this is Lindsay's setup, and I'm just creeping from a far off distance. My setup is the couple kind of right here, but a lot more to the right, so that there's a little more depth in the photo. She's getting all the great images, and I am going for those few kind of long shot Hail Mary style passes literally at 200, just trying to get something that I really do actually love, that I've also never been able to get as a main shooter, because to do that shot as a main shooter is a lot more challenging and a lot more risky, because if you don't nail that shot, then you're going to miss out on literally 100 other potential frames that you just didn't deliver. So as a second, I'm happy to take that opportunity this time because it's very, very rare that I have that chance. Very good light tonight. I'm super happy with all the photos. I was very excited to get out for sunset. And now I'm going to kind of run into, I would say, the most challenging part of new wedding venues, that everything is an LED light that are usually non-dimmable, but they will still put them on dimmers. And with traditional lighting, or a new lighting, I guess, which is LED based, everything has a refresh rate or like a hertz rating. And if you're shooting at 1/60th of a second, which my action camera on top of my camera, my 360 cam, is doing, is actually capturing everything. So all of these lights are on, with the exception of this one. This is actually from my DSLR. And as you kind of like move through the images, you can see how much things change. So I've amped my shutter speed up to 1/800th of a second. I'm at like 10,000 ISO. It's basically just to show this to you guys and how fast things kind of flicker on and off. So if you are taking images and you want the clean light from all of the LEDs that should not be on dimmers but are, spend a little bit of time figuring out what actually lets all the light in, rather than having it kind of like turned off, because these are all back to back to back frames and it's not the most ideal situation. All right, we're doing sparklers. Sorry, Neil. Neil is off to my right and his face is on a stitch line from the 360 camera. So he's looking weirder than he does in real life. He's a very attractive individual, but tonight he's on the stitch line, so things are looking weird. For the actual sparkler photos, we basically do everything we can to get everybody to light up the sparklers at the same time. And we did a little bit of a tunnel today. I actually like it a lot better during blue hour than I do in like pure darkness. That if I could shoot sparklers in this situation at all times, I'd be super happy. Lindsay has a wider lens than I do. I'm happy with my lens, but a slightly wider lens would have been better, only because of our physical inability to get further than where I'm standing, basically because there's a glass wall on the balcony. But everything looks amazing here. And if a couple is ever like, oh, like we're worried about doing sparklers too early, really do convince them that this like blue hour time is the best time to do it, because you actually get ambient texture in the background rather than just like in darkness with sparklers, which people do like, but I think that this is a much better shot. So hopefully your couples agree, hopefully you agree, and that's all for the wedding day. So we're going to be heading into the editing section of today, starting in 3, 2, 1 right now. Hello everyone, and welcome to the editing video. So I'm going to go through all the images that you just saw, plus a few bonus images. And I'm going to start it off by this 2019 V2 preset. If you're a Patreon member, you have access to these. I'm going to, that was a Command Shift S to just synchronize everything. I don't want to sync the white balance. Everything else is cool to sync. Basically, white balance, if I sync that, that means that it's going to override every single white balance that I set intentionally. And I do go out of my way to make sure that those are correct, because I want to be exposing or white balancing for skin tone specifically. I feel like that speeds up your post-production quite a lot, to do a few test frames, or if you're shooting mirrorless, just to look through the camera, I guess. All right, so I'm going to run you through all of the basics that I would do to edit a wedding like this. And I like this because the bride is in the foreground, and I think that it's important for dress shots and for other shots. I can't get this straight though. I think that's as close as I can make it naturally look, even though the lines are kind of converging. You can do other things, but I feel like that's more than good enough for the shot. I also like to prompt this image. This is one of the very few images that I'll prompt. I feel like it might not be the right preset though. I feel like it might be a 2018 cool, maybe in here. So we're going to set this to just this here cool for now. And I'm going to make sure, because there's so many right angles that it's kind of correct. And I'm a huge fan. This is like the one I'm gonna say I maybe prompt like 3 shots in the entire day that could not have naturally happened, and I feel like this is one of them. Although I do feel like it's a natural moment. At some point, she does have to grab her dress and take it somewhere, but I like to facilitate that happening. I also, as a second photographer, I guess in this specific case, to just like go around the house and just like grab images of different things that have definite, like for sure significance to them, but also aren't something that, like, if I was a main shooter, there's no way that I would have picked up. Um, Here's a kettle. This was a bit of a shot that I was like, yeah, it's going to be the greatest shot ever. And then I saw it and I was like, it's fine. I don't know if it's going to make the cut. I hope it does. I hope it makes the cut. Mexico will save me. Kind of did. If you're a Patreon member, you have access to all these preset packages, and you're more than welcome to download whatever ones you want. I don't know. Maybe this is just a dumb image overall, and I shouldn't have taken it. I really wanted it to work. It's not going to work. I'm really forcing it to work. I don't know. I'll leave it in. If Lindsay wants to deliver it, she can. That looks nice. Also, as far as like delivery goes, that whenever the main shooter has a second shooter photograph for them, I would say the best case, I guess, of just general deliveriness. That's not a word. Is that the main shooter gets everything and they edit everything, or they outsource that everything to make sure that everything is good and like consistent across the board. There's no reason, if you're a second photographer, that you should be shooting or you should be editing images. So as you saw in the video, as Christy comes down the stairs, all the girls are down here at the bottom, and the wide shot works out pretty good. But I feel like the close-ups work up a lot better. Same goes for her dad here. And I'm gonna kind of run through. It's a challenging room, I think, when it comes to just like colors. Like in my life, I feel like this is like what I would want it to be and cool it down a little bit. But I don't know if that's the most, just like, if that's the image that's gonna stand the test of time. I'm gonna leave it for now, but I'll probably return to this at some point. And then I'll also, I don't think this ended up making the video. It was, that's a Lindsay portrait. So basically she was taking the photo and I kind of got the side angle. I don't think that there's a huge market for the alternate angles on a lot of portraits, unfortunately. And I know that it's like it's the easy thing to do, to just like go in and just be like, okay, cool. So you're getting this shot. I'll get the side angle of it. Apologies. But I don't think that there's a reason to get like that side angle of everything. So I really am doing my best as a person that's usually a main shooter to train my brain to find those alternate angles. Looking back at the day, I definitely have not found that yet, but I will find it a little bit. It might be a little bit forced, but it's that's okay. So I'm going to add a little contrast here. And I'm pretty happy with that image. That image too. And that too. There's like obviously so many things you can do color wise and editing wise, but I really find that the more simple you can leave things, the better you can do it in the actual camera, the better. I spent, I'm going to say, probably 1,000 hours just like painting things in, as far as like lighting goes, that like, oh, the water wasn't blue enough, so I'm going to retouch like 45 photos and make them bluer. And for my portfolio, yes, maybe that like did make it look a little bit better, but for the actual couple, they want to kind of envision the day as it was, rather than my interpretation and my light painting of it. This is one of my favorite groomsmen coming down the aisle photos. I'm super happy with it. All right, the normal one. I'm very happy that he knows to do like the happy funny one, and then also the more serious one that Chrissy's gonna like a lot better than him coming down the aisle and waving. White balances are a little challenging in here only because they walk from somewhere that's like really, really good and warm, I would almost say, to somewhere that's, or maybe that's the opposite, to somewhere that's like, that I need to actually add warmth to it. But I think that I like it. Again, 7200 coming in very handy here. It's not a lens that I usually use. I'm usually on, actually no, during this point I am usually on it. But during the entire wedding day, I'm not usually on this lens, but I find that there is a great variation of all kinds of different things you can get, as well as the quality that comes off of specifically the Nikon FL. Like, you can't get this quality off of many lenses, especially at 185 millimeters at 2.8. So this is wide open and it looks absolutely fantastic. So I'm very happy with that. So I don't know if I love this image or not. I feel like I like this one a lot more than the first one there. I mean, a little contrast. It's a challenging scene, very backlit. Lots of different lighting scenarios happening that I can't really control too much of. But I am very happy that the light is coming from behind here rather than like alternate directions that it possibly could be, and that I'd have to really focus more time and effort on making just like the colors and the lighting and the shadows work better together. And also, like, during this entire scene while people are coming down the aisle, I'm doing my best to just like get as many candids as I can. I realize that as the second photographer that candids are kind of my duty. You can also, I guess, like, look at it a couple of ways where the main photographer is kind of like the bride's photographer in this case, like male female wedding, that Lindsay is the bride's photographer and I'm kind of more the groom's photographer, which is definitely how I've kind of positioned myself a little bit. If you watch the video from Mexico where I was second shooting for kind of Tim, and then kind of also Marshall was second, third shooting, fourth shooting, I don't know, there are a lot of photographers. It's called Survivor Photographer Island. If you want to watch it, it's personally, I believe it's the funniest video that I've made, but I don't know if everyone agreed with that. But by just like having the ability to, I've completely lost focus of what I was doing. Still editing though. As you can see, for the most part, I'm only really increasing exposure and bringing down black point. And that is because I know that my presets are set up for how I shoot. And if you want to shoot, I guess, the easiest with them, if you're shooting manual and you're shooting warm white balances, for the most part, these presets are going to give you the best possible one-click solutions. So as I walk back, this is the moment that they walk into the ladder where Lindsay has to get up and do the group photo. She does that, and I run to Cocktails to get all of these images. Pretty much, I think we did end up getting everything. We do kind of like the safety layer of photos of the ceremony and details before they light all the candles. But today they lit all the candles. Like, I don't even know what I'm saying anymore. Just trying to edit. It's very hard to separate your mind from like doing artistic sliders to also speaking. So I'm happy with that. I feel like it might be a little bit too warm. Cool that down a bit. I think it looks pretty good. I wish I would have moved a chair to kind of cover this specific area, because I feel like this area right here is a focus. And I wish that there was something else going on, but the way that the room lined up, there really just wasn't the option for that. So I tried to like get down a little bit closer and see if that would work, but really it just it's a very challenging composition. And I think as wedding shooters, we have to kind of realize that like not everything is going to work out, and it's not going to look like a magazine every single weekend. So you just kind of have to deal with what you can. This was my favorite image. So this is me realizing that I'm just not good at like hanging out near people and grabbing candids of them. So I hung out through a window and snapped a few photos, and I like them a lot. This is actually really kind of challenging, I guess, like color edit. I like that. I think I like the warm edit of that the best. It's crazy how significantly different that is from, this was literally like everything I was using last year up until maybe January, and now this is everything that I'm using this year, and it is a lot different. But again, even though it's different, I'm not like, even though these are my 2019 presets, they're not like the official end all be all that I have to 100% use them for everything. It is really about kind of using what you think is the best in the specific scenario, because everything is so different as far as lighting goes, and the way things come in. I don't know if I love these photos. They're very green. I don't typically love green photos. What I did here was I just made sure that there was some good light bouncing off the ground kind of below them, and that worked out really well, and I'm happy with that photo. But I don't know if I love shooting through green. Hopefully it gives Lindsay an alternate option of something to kind of work with. But typically wedding day, I am not going to be doing any shots like that. And I'm also not going to be adding, like, there's a lot of filters you can add in your phone or whatever. And even when it comes to adding just like light bursts and whatnot, that I'm never really looking for anything too acidic to kind of be an overlay. And right now this looks really nice, but if I was to add more green or more overlay to it, I would not be nearly as happy with it. These are Lindsay's setups. I didn't really do a whole lot. I just took the photos, and I tried to, this is the golf cart. So right here is the golf cart vignette, and it worked okay, but I don't know if it's anything remarkable. This is the image that I kind of like the most. So I would say I'm editing everything to be more of a Lindsay style look and feel. But this image right here, I'm going to edit to be a little more kind of what I would do to it. I'm happy with that. This is like, I would say this is my favorite image from the entire day, even though it is very, very simple and technically incorrect because you can't even see her full dress and you kind of feel like she's being pressed up against that side of the frame, but I am quite happy with it. As we go through more and more kind of lighting conditions, I'm just kind of trying to make sure that it is in fact like the correct one. I almost feel like summer 2018 is maybe the one for this. And I'm going to dial this back a little bit. And it's really hard. Like green space, it looks beautiful in real life, but it's actually really incredibly challenging. An easy way to kind of find a good white balance is click this little tool, and it really didn't change a whole lot. So we're kind of at the same point that we were when we began. I do like warmth. My issue is that it's bringing out the purples kind of in this rope and in all the highlights. So I don't love that because of that, but I think that it is a pretty good overall frame. This is like the straight out of camera. I guess it's not really the JPEG, it's kind of the raw, but I feel like that's kind of the one. And I'm going to bring in some gradient filters. So again, like by bringing the exposure down and just kind of like bringing a few of these filters in, you kind of frame them a little more correctly, I guess, than just if it was naturally a shot. So this was a shot before and this is it after. It doesn't change it too much. I feel like that does not feel unnatural in any way, which I kind of like. And then I'm going to duplicate this by clicking previous for this one too. This is Neil. Sorry, Neil, for making you look very weird in the behind the scenes video during the sparkler send off specifically. But I kind of have to find another preset. Maybe this one here. 2019 color. That looks a lot better than what it was looking like. While Neil is out doing his MC thing, I am spending a lot of time just making sure that everything is looking good around the room and getting lots of photos of candids, of just like people doing things, because I feel like that's like Lindsay would have had something similar to this shot, but she would not have had all the candids kind of around the room that I was able to take, because I didn't really have the importance of actually getting like the number one shot with it. All right. So this was originally my demo. I was trying to demo how lights change. That basically the light above her is flickering, that this is the same shot. You'll see me that I take a lot of photos that I double tap, triple tap my shutter. And it is in situations like this, because lighting does change a lot, that this is like perfect lighting, because the pot light on top of them, the LED that's on a dimmer that shouldn't be on a dimmer, is right above them, and it turns on here and it kind of ruins it all. So double tap, triple tap, just to make sure you get the exact right image. All right, so these are the shots that I think that I was the most excited for, and I'm still excited for them. So that looks really nice. I like that a lot. Move to this one. I'm going to get rid of just this pole here. Yeah, I like that. I can leave the flag. I can leave the green. It's obvious it's a golf course, but we don't need that flag. I don't even know what it was. Is it 50? It's not really 50. That was like a 25. And then the other, I guess, like my struggle here. Ooh, warm looks good. Travel 2018 warm. I think that's the winner. I guess that's the importance of having presets, is like Mexico looks good. Like everything kind of looks good, but you need to find the exact one that's working in the exact, like the lighting conditions that are happening right now. So I like that a lot. Like that a lot. And I'm very much on the line of making it feel slightly too acidic for me, but I like it. So I'm happy with these images. I'm happy with the skin tones, and I'm happy with specifically the depth on this one. The first ones, they weren't quite over far enough, and I couldn't go over more to my left, but I'm happy that they went here, because this actually shows the depth of the entire image. Best case would be if they were standing right here. I would be the most happy about that, because you could get like a frame that begins here and it really only just has kind of infinite rolling landscape depth. All right. This was a challenging image. When I took it, I was like, that looks really nice. And then I had no idea how I was going to post process it. So I think that by bringing this down and then also kind of bringing in a little bit of kind of the natural vignette that I spoke about earlier is kind of the best that you can do. It's like a very beautiful scene, but also very, very challenging to actually get a great image of. So originally, and now that, if they could have been right here, that would have been like my most ideal situation, or on top of this hill right here. That would have been an amazing shot. But because of time and also the sketchiness of crossing this terrain in a dress and heels is not something that I want to force upon people if they're not willing to do it. Usually people are kind of willing to do things if you ask them as a photographer, but I don't really want to overstep in too many cases. This is what you saw in the video. Just about the extremeness of these lights flashing on and off if you're shooting a high shutter speed. So make sure you figure out whatever is the best to let the most light in if lights are flickering on and off, because it is the most extreme difference really that I've seen. All right, so moving into some of these sparkler shots. This is a challenging, so what's happening is that blue hour is happening, or violet hour, or whatever you want to call it. It's happening, but then also they're doing sparklers at the same time. So I feel like that is kind of the correct white balance. Oh, that's so hard. So that is, I feel like, closest on their face. And then you can do this graduated filter and warm it up a little bit if you want, or cool it down. This is like a very challenging scene. I'm going to look through a few more presets. I feel like this is my cop out that I just want to find something that kind of works. I feel like that kind of works the most, even though it kind of negates the blue hour, which is a little bit sad, because I did really enjoy that, but maybe it's too many competing elements with the warm and the cool going on. I'm happy overall with an image that looks like that, and let's see if it works on here too. Oh, not really. Pretty close. No, that's not it. You can also create those natural vignettes. I almost feel like the straight to camera, like JPEG, is kind of the best. So maybe I'll leave it as that for the actual deliverables, because I feel like that does look the nicest. All right, that's all for today. If you enjoy these presets, if you want to have access to them all, they're all in Patreon, so feel free to head over there and get them right now. They're available instantly, so head over there, and hopefully you enjoyed today's little walkthrough of all the images that I edited. They were quite across the board, and a lot of them were actually really challenging. This is probably the most challenging edit that I've actually done. Usually it's like very simple, like, oh, beautiful lighting, very easy, but today a little bit more challenging. So thank you for being here, and thank you for watching YouTube, and I hope that you have a lovely day wherever in the world that you are.